Jose Mourinho, searingly honest after the game tonight. He said the best team lost. Charlie, how do you feel as a player when you know that you are the poorer of the two, yet you've gone through?
I don't care. I'm delighted. If you don't play well and you get through, it's you take it, you sit down and you look at why and what. But no, you'll take it if you can get through. Southampton will be disappointed thinking this was an opportunity to get into the next round, and they've come up short. But no, if you're Spurs, you're in the next round and you move on from it.
We watched the game. Do you agree with Jose's assessment?
Yeah, I thought Southampton were excellent, caused them a lot of problems. And I said in the show before, I thought Danny Ings was probably the one that they could have tried to sign the window, would have made a difference to them up top. And no, it's Southampton have turned the season round since that 9-0 drubbing against Leicester. So no, they're going the right way, and they'll take the positives from going to a place like Tottenham and winning and losing, but playing well.
But Joey, in many ways, is there equally something to admire about a team not playing well and coming from behind and winning?
Yeah, 100%. Especially in a cup competition, it doesn't really matter how you play. No one remembers who plays well in cup runs and finals. It's all about winning the games. It's not about performances. But I don't think Jose would have been so honest having lost the game. I don't think he would have said the best team won if Southampton come away winning that game. But yeah, it's a credit to him for being so honest in that sense.
There's still a worry at Tottenham and how they're playing. They're not playing at a level where he'd expect. Even on Sunday against City, I thought City were excellent at times and caused them a lot of problems.
I mean, that Sunday one is a funny one, isn't it? Because City could have been home and hosed at half-time, but Jose had a plan. They soaked up the punishment and ran out 2-0 winners.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, we've come accustomed to seeing that for Jose.
Yeah.
So them performances don't surprise me. But what has surprised me how not solid they are. I was expecting him to go in there and definitely show them up and be harder to beat, harder to concede, to score against. But that hasn't.
And that was a rare clean sheet.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's happened when City have missed a penalty, which again that doesn't happen every week.
Is that down, Charlie? Do you think to the players he inherited? I'm not saying it's their quality, but the way they're used to playing.
There'll be a different mindset, definitely, from when Mourinho was in there. But Jose's come in and is more of a defensive coach and wants to be solid and build on that. But now, it takes time. It does take time. But the players have got to know the responsibility and the roles in the team on how they want to do it. Do you know what I mean? And they have to have the hunger and desire to go and keep clean sheets. Are they just accepting, if they lose a goal? Are they disappointed when they lose goals? So I think Jose will look at and try and progress now to the end of the season, and come next season they'll be a totally different team.
Again though, if you've got to give credit to Jose Mourinho, depleted team tonight. I know you'll say every team has injuries, but a depleted side, he changed it. Went from a 3 to a 4, brought Ali on, changed things.
He does, but that's what the top managers do. They've still got players that can hurt teams in the squad to bring on, so it's not like they're struggling for players. They've still got quality in and around, and at home you'd still expect them to beat Southampton if they were depleted or at full strength.
I mean, also as well, you'd never back against Jose, would you? I mean,
No.
What sort of achievement would it be? I know there's a long way to go. There's an awful lot of teams left in, but what sort of result would landing a trophy in his
massive.
first... It's not even a complete season at Spurs.
I don't think it has to be this season. I think any season, any time he's there, if they win a trophy, that's a massive achievement. They haven't done that for a number of years. I think that's the reason why they've brought him in. The players, obviously, you keep players happy by winning trophies. So I think if they start to win trophies and start to get to finals, then obviously players can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, Jose is up there with the very best in terms of winning games, regardless of the style or the formation.
Well, you see, his track record is ridiculous. That's in full seasons, his first full seasons at clubs.
He's a born winner. His main aim and objective is to win trophies. And if he can get a club like Tottenham, I think if they get into the Champions League, is a massive achievement from where they were when he came in. So if he can get that and get them to a final and look like they can win a trophy, that'd be phenomenal. Could be one of his biggest achievements.
Well, he said one of his biggest achievements was finish second with Manchester United.
Yeah.
Would that be up there with that for you?
Yeah, I think it would be, definitely.
If they have to win it, not just get to the final. If they go and win the FA Cup, then definitely, or again finish top 4 and and win the FA Cup. That's a big achievement.
Well, the other thing as well, as you say, he's slowly instilling his mentality, his message, his methodology, whilst without the main man, Harry Kane, as well. So he's not been handed a perfect fit straight away, has he?
He's not, but remember, he's got someone like Luka Moura, he's got Son up there. You know, he's still got top players. It's not like he's come in and he's got a bad squad. He's had a good squad that just low in confidence and you know, weren't playing to the levels that they have in previous seasons. You know, he will take time. His biggest problem is because there's still, you know, loads of games and getting training and getting a way of playing and a training method on how he wants to play and get the team. It's difficult to actually get on the grass because of so many games, but you know, he's got plenty of experience and you know, good players adapt quickly. But you know, it's one of these that if they can get to the summer and you say get into a final in Champions League would be massive for them.
Let's actually have a quick look at the FA Cup draw, because as I said, there's an awful lot of games left to play. Tottenham at home to Norwich, which is, on the face of it, obviously they're bottom of the table, but Norwich have given Tottenham a couple of good games.
Yeah, definitely. But again, Spurs at home, they'll be confident they can get through that round. And again, regardless of the team they put out, I don't think Norwich will put out their strongest team. They've obviously got different priorities to Spurs, but whoever Jose puts out should be winning. Again, in the greatest respect, he's not putting out kids like Liverpool the other day. They're putting out a strong team.
What sort of team are we expecting to see at the Bridge?
From Liverpool?
Definitely a strong one.
Yeah, because you don't want to get embarrassed. Regardless, I understand that he was resting players the other night, so that makes sense to me. But
that was, in many ways, that was unique, wasn't it? The circumstances, the winter break, etc.
Yeah, again, that needs to be looked at. If you can't have winter break and then be putting scheduling replays in that week, it just makes no sense. If you're giving people and players a break, then it needs to be a break.
Yeah. And it shows the crest of the wave that Liverpool are on as a whole club. You know, full house last night again to watch the kids play against Shrewsbury. They've done extremely well, and you know the big guns will be back for the next round because the treble's on, and they'll look to try and win that. That'll be the aim for them. They'll want to try and win the treble because it'll be another major step in that club's history.
I mean, that's another bone of contention. Do you think Liverpool, I mean, nobody's going to tell Jurgen Klopp what he should or shouldn't be doing right now, clearly, but do you think that they should be going for the treble as much as they can, Liverpool?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, they're in every
100%.
competition. You need to, when you're at a club like Liverpool, you need to try and win every game, and you know, they're in the moment. Okay, they've managed to nick that game against Shrewsbury.
Yep.
And you know, the treble's there to be won, and that will be the priority now to the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think the players that will give players that didn't play last night confidence. The fact that is still on. Yeah, obviously they're enjoying their rest and looking at the Premier League and the Champions League, but the fact that they're still in the FA Cup will be a massive boost for the players and the squad in general.
Let's just touch on a couple of other teams there as well. Your club, Manchester City. With them being so far behind Liverpool in the league, but obviously the Champions League is the trophy they all want there. Does the focus change mentally?
I think you can heighten it, getting closer to that game against Real Madrid. In terms of prioritising one game or not, I think that'll determine on Pep's selection in the build-up to that game. I think he'll definitely be resting some key players in the build-up to the Madrid game just to make sure they're fresh, with that little bit of hunger. But in regards to going out, and players will want to win, like whoever's playing in whatever game, you want to win and showcase your ability.
It'll hurt the Man City players. They've been successful since Pep come in, and it'll hurt them that they're so far behind in the league because, you know, they're the ones everybody wants to catch, and you know, they're the top dogs at the moment in the Premier League. You know, they're the champions, and everybody wants to catch them. It'll hurt them because they're a successful group, and they'll want to try and close that gap as much as they can. But as Joleon says, closer to the Champions League game, they'll rest a few, and that will take priority that week.
Will the FA Cup be way down their priority list?
No, I think they'll want to win that as well.
Oh no, 100%. Even the Charity Shield, the League Cup, if it's a trophy, they're out to win trophies. And the fact that they can still win 3 out of the 4 that you're starting at the start of the season is still a massive achievement. Yeah, again, in terms of the league, it's not ideal, but in terms of the other trophies, they're definitely determined to win that.
Now, we know the FA Cup brings up some wonderful stories. What price Wayne Rooney dumping Manchester United out of the FA Cup with Derby. Is it one of those? It's just written.
Listen,
if it happens, obviously.
he's got the quality. He can.
100%.
He's still got the talent. He's still a terrific player. You've seen the impact that he's had on that team recently since he's come in, with the goals he scored, the chances he's created. So he'll be desperate to win because that's the type of player he is. He's a winner. He's a born winner. He'll still think he's the best player on the pitch and want to prove.
And he would like most likely prove that he's still got as much ability as kind of everyone out there. Yeah, I remember a game when we at Wolves and we went to play Arsenal, and Paul Ince obviously was at Wolves in the Championship, and then we went there and he kind of showcased why he was that guy in his career, and I'm sure Rooney will be determined to kind of showcase that he's still as good as anyone else.
It will still be in the back of his mind, still think, I'm still good enough to play there.
Yeah.
It'll be in his mind that, and Anna, earlier in the window, or obviously because the deal got done quite quick to go to Derby, I still thought that they should have asked the question, would he come back and try and help out? Because he's still got the quality, he's still a top player.
Yeah.
And he'll be determined to show everybody that he's better than what Man United have got in that midfield.
Well, it was only 4 years ago he was lifting the trophy for Manchester United as skipper. So it's not that long ago, is it?
It's not, and he obviously went to America, but when you've been played at that top level, and Joleon will be the same, when you go back to an old club, you want to still prove that you're better than what they've got now, and he will want to do that. He'll want to win for Derby, and it'll be a big scalp for them because he's got them on a decent run at the moment, and they're a good side they've picked up since he's gone in there.
Quick word on Southampton. You mentioned it. Ever since that dreadful 9-0 drubbing to Leicester, it wasn't immediate. They lost the next couple of games, but since then they've won 7 out of 15. So you can see where they rank, and look at how they've, in the league obviously that is, how they've upped their efforts, and that really could have been the end of a lot of managers, couldn't it?
Well, we thought it was, the interview after it and how down he looked. We thought it was going to be the end of Hasenhüttl, but he's galvanised the squad. He's shown that the reputation he's got has been as a good coach. He's come in and he's sorted it out, and they're going well. And the league, that result was just a freak result, but they've picked themselves up as a group of players and the coaching staff. What
impressed me about him was I did that interview on the night. We covered the game. One of the very first things he was keen to emphasise in the interview was, I take full responsibility for this result.
Yeah, again, credit to him for that. Obviously,
because it would have been easy to say my players didn't do this, or some didn't do that, or it's behind closed. But straight away he went on the front foot. I take responsibility for this.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember watching that interview and thinking he looks devastated. He actually looks like it's
hurt. He looked shell-shocked.
Yeah. Again, obviously, I doubt that's happened to him before and will happen again. But in regards to the impact it had on him, you could see that. And then they went on. I think they played City twice in the next 3 games, and you could see the impact that he had on the team. So you knew the players hadn't lost faith in what he was teaching and what he was coaching. They still had the effort levels to kind of go there and give a good account of themselves.
Yeah, the other thing is as well, they've got players and Danny Ings right now.
Yeah, he's flying. Redmond's there. Højbjerg is a good player. So they're in a good position, and the players that they've got is trying to keep them fit. And if you can keep somebody like Ings fit, he'll score goals, and he seems to have got them out of the position that they were in.
And if he continues that form,
England recall,
he has to go.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a number of strikers out at the moment, but in regards to form, there's no English striker better than him at this moment in time.
The other things as well, when you look at the way Southampton played tonight, you can see that they've got their belief back, haven't they?
Yeah, again, the effort levels haven't dropped. You can see they're fully behind what the coach is trying to implement on the training ground, and they're trying to do that in game. So you can see he's got the focus and the backing of the players, which is key especially when you're fighting for relegation.
Yeah.
What's a decent finish for them this season?
Well, I think anything above, 14th, 15th, if they can stay up, because, it's a tough league. It's there's so many teams fighting it. I think they're safe. I think everybody from Palace down is okay. Well, sorry, from Palace up is okay, but everybody else, apart from West Ham, Norwich, Villa, they're in the mix, and it's going to be tough for them. But it's to see who can hold the nerve. But I think Southampton are okay.
They seem to have lost, if you like, the fragility that would make you worry about any team. They look to, as I say, they've got their belief, they've got their strength back. They're a long, long way from being completely safe, of course, we can see that, but they just have got something about them at the moment.
Yeah, they don't look vulnerable, and again, it's strange to say that probably the best thing that could have happened to them was losing so heavily. I think if that game's 2-0, 3-0, then you just think, oh, that won't happen again.
You go to the next
one, and then your mentality doesn't shift too much. Where the fact that it's so heavy, 9-0, all of a sudden now it's drastic.
Refocus,
now everything has to change. Kind of, obviously, players look at themselves a lot more in detail when you lose that heavy.